Hey guys, hope you are having a good Thursday night. It's 9 o'clock on the East Coast, 6 o'clock on the West Coast, and we want to get started here with the Stellar series, which is the new series that we released with Tamco, which is all of our pearls. So we're going to go over the different ones that we have here. There's been a couple posts in the group so far. Have a spread in the kitchen again today. It's just easier for me. So another guy in the group, Russell, has been posting a couple pictures so far with the Stellar series, showing them in use, showing them how they work. I've liked the way that he has shown how they work well over going over top of white, work well going over top of other colors. I have options here to show you guys of what they look like that I did today. 9500 saved the day. I had them all done, sprayed out. 9500 stuck them in our bathroom downstairs, which has heat in it, and had all of these completely cured in time to be able to bring them. So that's a nice feature of 9500, that even when it's 40 degrees outside when you're spraying, like I was today, and freezing my ass off while I was doing these, at least it could cure in the warm bathroom. So the entire kitchen right now, because obviously clear is still curing, paint still cures over time, my entire kitchen smells like curing clear right now. So anyways, what we're going to show is the 8 different colors of pearls that we have in the system. And basically what it is, we'll go from start to finish here whenever it goes over top of white. We have russet, we have copper, we have green, purple, red, blue, gold, and white. And what I want to show you is the colors. I'll flip it around here so you guys can see. Hold on one second so I can flip it. Okay. So these are the colors. What I did, and I didn't really explain what I did before, but I'll explain now during the live what I did. You'll see that a couple of the colors have 3 options. And that was just because I wanted to do 3 options to show you that you have choices. I didn't do it on everything. For instance, this is the very first one I did. Then I came back and did this one. And I really should have done one in between, but I didn't, because when I started continuing, I realized that there was other options. So this is purple over top of white, purple over top of black, and then another purple over top of black. I don't know if you can tell from the video, you can tell in person. But if you can tell this purple over black here, if I get close enough to it, you can see how clean it is and how it doesn't have like a milky finish. Even though Jimmy James says it looks like shit, it doesn't really have that milkiness to it, right? Then when you kind of go up to this one, and let me see if you can see like the 2 here. Let's do them side by side for a second. You see them side by side and maybe you'll notice it. I notice it, and this is kind of what I want to show you. That way you guys don't do this. When I'm looking at it, this one right here looks milky to me. It looks oversaturated. And if you take the pearls and you oversaturate them, you'll get a lighter look. But to me, it doesn't look good. To me, it's oversaturated. And that's kind of what I wanted to show and why I went in between. When you look at this one kind of looks like it has the perfect balance. It's the perfect balance of the pearl going over top of black. Now, what I did here on this one is I used the pearl full strength that you're going to be receiving it as. So when you buy the system from us, this is the full strength purple over top of black, but in one coat, just one coat. And what it looks like in person is not 100% consistent to what it looks like in the video, because I'm looking at it in person and I can see that in the video, it actually looks a little bit different. When you look over at this one, it's like, I don't know if you can see the difference. I can tell the difference, and I'm hoping you can too. It kind of has like a hue to it, almost like a milky hue, if you guys can see that. That's what I don't like. So what I'm showing you is don't oversaturate the pearl. They're very concentrated. They're very strong. It's kind of what we're known for, what we do. We make things oversaturated and strong on purpose to a degree because it gives you ability. It gives you options. So for instance, here is the green right here. Let's turn it around. That's the green. When you see this green here, this is one coat of green over black, just one. This right here is 2 heavy coats over black. And again, you can see the 2 greens next to each other. You can kind of tell how this has a nice rich look to it. And then this one kind of gets that oversaturated look. It also shows you where the pearl looks different. Meaning like you look at this one and the pearl looks more intense, almost like a metallic. And then you look at it over here, and even though there's more pearl, it actually looks weaker in strength. It looks like it's finer because it's more oversaturated. Whereas over this one, it has a coarser look to it. Even though it's technically less pearl, It's not drowning it is the best way to explain it, so it looks better. Only way I can really explain it. So the other one that I did like that, let's go back over here. We'll go to some other ones. I did the blue. So this one right here is blue over white, 2 coats. There's some trash in there. This one here is blue, 1 coat over black. And if you guys are asking how I did them, they're speed shapes and they're already colored. So like Matt just said, in this system, less equals more. There's no reason to oversaturate them. If you've been seeing how Russell was using it in the group, you can see that he's using a very small amount, and I like the way it's been coming out. When he did his purple, he did not overdo it. He did like 1 good coat, and it looked really, really good. So what I'm telling you is that you can get one of these pearls from us, right? And you can dilute this down in $8.95, and you can make it way, way weaker, and you can do so much with it. You can do any kind of possible option that you can do. So this one right here is gold. The gold looks cool. And this right here is gold over black. And that right there is 1 coat of gold over black. So you could do it differently by going over again. You could do more than 1 coat, but that right there is 1 coat over black. And again, you can see the underneath of the speed shape. And you see that it's black. So this one here is white. This is white over white. This is 1 coat of white over black. And if you can see it before I go to the second one, you'll see the richness of it. You'll see that the pearl did not get oversaturated. It still looks nice and coarse. Even though it's a pearl, it looks kind of like a metallic. And then this right here is the one that has 2 heavy coats. And you can see that the color difference, and when I place them next to each other, you can tell more. The color difference changes. That's darker, that's lighter, but they're just white pearl over black. And it shows you both options. And I kind of wanted to show both options just so you guys can see that there's a difference between doing 1 or doing 2 coats over top of white or black. Okay, so this one right here is the Russet. This is Russet over black. Now, when I was spraying this, I was really impressed with this one. I actually kind of really like this one. And even in person, you can't quite tell what it looks like. In the video, it looks more orange. In person, it looks more red. This is a true Russet sprayed over black. This is the same Russet sprayed over white. Now, when you look at both options next to each other, these are options you have. If you wanted to have a look like this, which over white, by the way, takes more coats to cover. That took 3 coats over white to cover, because they're not really meant to cover over white, honestly, when you're looking for full coverage. They're more meant for effect. Now, a guy took this color, and he took the copper color, and he sprayed a small amount in an intercoat carrier, and he applied it over top of a white. And it was just enough to give you that tinge of a copper or a russet, but it never changed the color of the white. He basically did with this color almost like what these look like. Same idea. He made it look just like this basically, but with a copper. So you guys can do that. He actually was the very first time he had ever used it. And what he did was he just over diluted it, and he made it weaker. And he made it more along the lines of these. That's what I want you guys to realize, that when you're using this entire series of pearls, you can do whatever you want with them, and you can oversaturate them however you want to and make them look the way you want. You can weaken them. You can make them sharp of it. And I wiped it as it was still tacky. And you can see in places here where I wiped it, where you can see that I did that. But actually, considering that it was only 15 minutes later and it was 41 degrees today, this cured really well. And a lot of the trash came out of it. I mean, you see some, you see a little bit there, but a lot of it came out. So I'm just showing you that because 9500 is amazing and curing in low temperatures and still functioning. So it wouldn't even have looked half as good if I had used a different clear, because this falling on the ground and getting a little bit of trash in it and me saving it with 398, and I thought it was gonna be a disaster and I wasn't even gonna be able to use it. You guys can still see the color. You can still see the effect, and I saved it, which 15 minutes later after spraying 9500 and temperatures that cold is pretty impressive. So I just saved that just for you guys to be able to see that if you're working in conditions where it's cold, 9500 would be ideal, because even in cold temperatures, it's actually really able to function. Okay, so I showed you guys the greens. I kind of mixed up my purples here. So, okay, here's pink. I don't like how pink turned out at all over black, because really the pink should have been done less. So as you can see, like how some of these get oversaturated, which is what I wanted to show you, don't do this. Now, if you like this look, I don't like it, but if you like the look, then you can go this heavy over top of black. I personally think that the pink would have looked better, like how the purple is here, or if I did one coat, didn't oversaturate it, kept it lighter, it would look truly more pink in one coat and you'd be done. Saves you money on pearls, saves you time where you don't have to go as much. Realize that all of these are tri-stages. What we did with the custom color line originally was basically take away the need for tri-stages. It was create this color, get this look. Here's Blizzard of Oz. It's not a tri-stage. It's just a regular base coat. You know, here's the rest of our colors. They're not tri-stages. They're just base coats. Saves you time, saves you money, things like that. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that you can do creativity-wise when you have pearls at your option and at your ability to do whatever you want. In some cases, the only way to achieve the color you're looking for and the real look that you're looking for is to do a tri-stage. So this right here, the Stellar Series, gives you the ability to take some of the colors that you've been wanting to do and create them your own way and spray them your own way over anything. For instance, these don't just have to go over white or black. These can go over anything. You could take these pearls and you could place them over top of OEM colors and you could intensify the look. You could place them over top of other Tamco custom colors and you would intensify the look. There's no reason that this blue pearl wouldn't look good over top of Liberty Blue or Nitrous or Beautiful or any of them. There's no reason that purple here wouldn't look good over top of Purple Pop Pearl or, you know, any of the other colors that we have. Same with all of these. This green would look over top of various different greens that we've created. Same with all of them. There's room and there's ways to do it. Now, for instance, Golden Pearl is a different gold. It doesn't use one of these pearls, but it utilizes another one. If you wanted to pop and make Golden Pearl pop a little bit differently, you could put this over top of Golden Pearl and give it that little bit different look. White, on the other hand, is kind of the one that's really versatile. White allows you to go over top of all kinds of things. You can take a white pearl and you can just class up almost anything using a white pearl. That's a nice feature of it. Now, what you'll notice is, I don't know how well the video is showing it versus in person. You see some hues here that they kind of have. Now, when you use them heavy like I did, like if you're looking at the gold here versus the white, see the white's real clean. It doesn't have that yellow look to it. That's one thing I like about a white pearl. It has a clean look to it. The gold looks like a gold should. Has a standard look like a gold should. The blue's tricky to me. The blue looks clean, but at the same time, it has a little bit of a yellow cast to it. That's just kind of normal in the industry for the pearl. Again, if you didn't go as heavy as I did and you diluted the pearl down more, you would kill that look. It would look better. This one here is pink. You don't really see a lot of pinks in the industry. Most of them are red. Most of them kind of look red. This one doesn't. This one is a true pink. So if you guys have been wanting like a real pink to go over top of certain things, that's what this one is. Again, this is pink over black. If you did what I did on the purple here and went a lot lighter, like I should have done originally, I should have given you 3 options, but I had already finished and I didn't really have time to go back. But this one right here would have looked better with only 1 coat. It would have looked truly pink over black. It just would have had a better look, almost like this purple does. You would have had that option with pink. Again, here's purple over top of white. You see that hue that you're supposed to see. That's what happens when you take these pearls and you put them over white. You get that hue that you're looking for. You get that reflective look you're looking for. But then at the same time, when you go over top of black, you get a completely different option. You get a completely different color range. You get completely different ability. That's what's really cool about the Stellar Series, is it gives you that ability to go completely different based on what you put it over top of. No matter what the bases you use is going to give you a different option. Again, this purple here looks nothing like this purple here, and it looks nothing like this purple here. They're all the same pearl. Your options of your base coats create different things. This blue looks nothing like this blue versus this one. All your bases and everything and how strong or how you go changes that. So when you're using these, again, they're going to be 1-to-1 with reducer when you get them at their full strength. If you want to go 1-to-1 at their full strength, that will be the full strength that you can utilize. You're going to want to play around with them. You're going to want to get a best feel for you. You're going to want to see what you feel most comfortable with. And you might feel more comfortable just kind of going, you know, 1/4 of pearl to $8.95 and then doing 1-to-1. or doing a half of pearl to $8.95 and then going 1-to-1. So these can be dulled down or kept the same. If you like the intensity, if you want it as strong and as saturated as I did, you can. If you want to dilute them down, $8.95 is going to be your best option to weaken the strength and create whatever mix you want. Now, some of you may say, you know, can you mix these together? I've actually done that. I've made colors for people before where I've actually taken purple and blue and white and mixed the three together, and it creates a cool look. You might think that it doesn't, but it actually does. We don't have an orange pearl. There just isn't in the industry. There are some companies that have one. Floodwater has one. I've used their orange pearl. It's a dry pearl. I've put it in my single stage. I've put it in base coat. I've made a sinister out of it with the dry, and it's actually really bitchin' looking. It's really cool, but I don't have that ability in what we do. I don't have an orange, but I did use one from Floodwater in our system, and it was really, really cool. Okay, so I think that basically covers your color options on what we have here. Again, this one right here is Russet. So that's Russet. This one right here is white. All the options are white. This is gold. This is blue. Pink, which again, this would look better with one coat, not two. Purple, or we call violet. This one's the green. Again, you have the options of going lighter, darker, and over white. And then this one is the copper. So are there any questions that you guys have? I've been reading the comments through as I've been talking, but are there any questions that you guys have specifically on how to use them, what to do? It says mix ratio did you use for the oversaturated versus light? So everything's a 1-to-1 mix ratio. The only thing that I did was I kept the strength the same, meaning I used my PPS cups today for everything. And it honestly is what made me able to do, you know, all of these spray outs as fast as I did them and cleared them because of it. Because it's like bang, bang, bang. You line them all up, you fill them all up, you reduce them all, and you just switch the collar over to every single one of them when you're done. So the difference that I did here, for instance, for you guys to understand, is that this is at 1-to-1, this is at 1-to-1, this is at 1-to-1, full strength. So when you get the container from us, when you buy the Stellar Series from us, that's what I gave you. I did not alter those at all because I wanted you to see what you would be getting from me. The difference is this. This is 2 coats over white. This is 1 coat over black. This is 2 coats over black. And that's where you see the difference. The strength is all the same, meaning they're all the same out of the container, which you get from us. I poured and I mixed 1-to-1. I did not weaken them. I did not add $8.95 to them. None of that. All I did was show you here, 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 and here was what it would look like if I only did 1 coat versus 2 coats. So just so you understand, that's 1 coat, 2 coats. 1 coat, 2 coats. 1 coat, 2 coats. At the exact same strength that you're going to buy from us as is. I did not change them. I did not weaken them. Now, if you want to, if you wanted to weaken them, you can. You can actually take them and you can mix them in the $8.95, like I said, and you could weaken the strength and you could use them any way you want to. The whites, you're really not going to want to weaken much because white is never going to reflect the look as much as black is. That said, if you wanted to mute the look of the blue or any of the other colors, you could weaken the strength and you could get more of a ghost effect. You guys could do ghost flames on jobs, custom jobs where you do ghost flames. The Stellar Series is perfect for that. It would work perfectly for being able to do ghost flames, all kinds of things. Let's see. The light matches my wife's nail polish. Trying to see if there's anything else. Okay, 1 coat of pearl, does it cover evenly enough to do 1 coat? So, okay, this right here is 1 coat. Let's look at it. That's 1 coat sprayed with an LPH 400 by me at 41 degrees. I think it's pretty even. I think it looks pretty even. Now, granted, this is a speed shape. It's not hard to screw up versus a car would be different. As you can see, I have overspray all over my nails from spraying. So I think they cover well. I think they spray consistently. This one right here is 1 coat. You look at it, it's sprayed evenly. It's sprayed consistent for even coverage. That's all 1 coat. The purple here is 1 coat. It's sprayed really even, really consistent. It's not hard to control. It's not hard to stay even. The green here is 1 coat. Stays even, stays consistent. They're not hard to work with. They really aren't. They're user-friendly. They're not hard to work with. So one coat, in my opinion, on black in basically every case, I feel like looks the best. I feel like when you went up to the 2 coats, it just got well oversaturated and it doesn't need to be. Now, if you were to weaken the strength, the only thing that I really like with multiple coats personally is the white over black. I think that gives you a really cool gunmetal, like a lighter gunmetal. I think over just one coat looks really cool as well. But that's the only one that I'm really happy with where I did more than one coat. Other than that, I think one coat over black is sufficient for the look that you're going for personally. So when someone said, do they look splotchy? I didn't feel like they looked splotchy. Now, again, it's easy to control coverage. It's easy to control what you're doing on a speed shape. Obviously, spraying a car is going to be different. If you didn't feel that you spraying one coat was as even as you wanted to when you were doing the one coat, you could always go back and you could, spray a second coat or more like a control coat over top of it and even the whole thing out. You really cannot screw this up. You really can't do that much different. Like this one is one coat, this one's 2 coats. If you're somewhere in the middle, you're going to be somewhere in the middle. Again, you could even take this one right here and you could be lighter than this. You don't have to have that much purple over top of black. You could weaken the strength and you could go even better. You could make it look any way you want to. You could cut them all in half with 895. You could cut them by 1/4. You could cut them by 1/8. You could cut them by 3/4. Whatever you want is the whole purpose. You can change these any way you want over any single surface. That's kind of why I like the idea of the series, is because it gives guys more options. It gives you more ability to do different things. I like the green over black. You might have to weaken the strength for larger areas, which I agree with. Any other questions? So that over black, then your Cabernet candy. So that's another thing, so you guys know. So, okay, for instance, when you're doing candies, and I'm just going to keep walking around here so you guys can see them. When you're doing candies, you could do candies 2 different ways. You could do candies where you spray them over metallic, or you could do candies where you spray them over pearl. You don't have to always spray a candy over top of a metallic. You can spray a candy over top of a pearl. For instance, if you were to do something like this, and you were to put the black down, you were to do a pearl, and you were to come back over top of it with like black metal candy, that would look cool. If you were to take a candy and put it over top of like this purple, you could take this right here and you could spray grapeness over top of this and give it a really cool flop. You could take the blue right here and you could spray either one of the blues. You could do the SoCal blue, or you actually could even go like Monaco, and you could spray it over top of that and create a completely different look. So you can spray candies over pearls. Candy would reflect over pearl. Now you have to realize that when you put a candy over top of it, it's going to weaken the strength of the metallic side you see, which is not metallic, but it's pearl. It's going to drown some of that out. That's what happens when you use candies. But if you only want something very fine, there's some guys that contact me and they don't want to have a really coarse metallic underneath their candy. They want to have something finer. If you want to have something finer and you don't want to have a metallic, you could just go over top of pearls. You don't have to go over top of a metallic. Eventually, we are going to actually create a pearlized actual candy base coat as well, something that's ready to go that you guys can use to make it, the way that you guys want it. That is something that we will eventually probably do because we've had a high demand for it. I think that's basically what I was wanting to discuss. Is there any other questions that you guys have on the pearls before? Doesn't need to be a long live today. We're going to do more lives on different materials and different products. And, people were asking about tech things on different products. They were asking about some of the new products. We're going to keep doing tech videos. Every Thursday, we're still going to do a tech video. Today, I just chose to do the seller one because a lot of people were actually asking about them. So I figured, I'll hurry up, do spray outs, get this done, get some questions answered, things like that. But we're going to keep doing techs. Every Thursday, we're going to pick a product that we want to talk about, cover the basics, get you guys where you're really educated on the product so that you feel comfortable to pull the trigger on them and be able to use them the way that you want to with the best possible usage that you could possibly do. So I'm really happy with this series. I think it's cool. I think it's unique. I think it can be used in, multiple different kinds of ways. You guys can do a lot of different things with them. They're not expensive. You can get an 8-ounce container for $35, and that 8-ounce container would go pretty far. In a lot of cases, you could get a quart of this, and you could cover a car. So depending on what you want to do, I had a guy who bought 2 quarts of our blue, and I've posted the pictures. It was before I even named the series, and we did it. And I believe he only did 2 coats over top of his entire truck that he did over a white base coat. And he said that it was sufficient. He didn't need to go any more than 2 coats. So in a lot of cases, you could do an entire car in 1 quart of this particular product. It would go far. So that's something that would actually work well. What is the white base? I missed that part. Wait, what is the base coat? I missed the part. Normal white looking at the blue. So yes, this one right here is just white speed shape. Just a white speed shape, that's it. This right here is over a black speed shape, but it's only 1 coat. This right here is over a black speed shape, but it's 2 coats. So that's the difference. All of these that you're seeing are over white. That's over white. All of these are over white. Everything else is over black. So all the rest of these are over black. So that's basically everything. If you guys have any other questions on the products, just let us know. Just feel free to ask questions. If you guys have already bought them, a lot of you guys have already bought them. Russell Newman's probably the one who's bought the most of them, who's been utilizing them well. Continue to post them in use. I want to see them. We all want to see them in use. We want to see the really creative ways that you guys can make them flow and make them look cool and things like that. So if you've already got them, continue to post them. Show other people how you are using them. Show them the unique ways that you can actually use them. And we'll go from there. But again, these can all be used in many different ways, all different kinds of purposes. They're always going to be a tri-stage. So a lot of guys ask, are they tri-stage pearls? Yes. They're always going to be a tri-stage. Tri-stage, for people who doesn't really understand that, means that you're putting down a base coat color and you're coming back on top of it with another base coat. 2 stages. Then you're clearing it. That makes it a tri-stage. A lot of the colors that we create in the custom color line are not tri-stages. They're base coats. It means that you get the look of this color over top of a black or over top of whatever you choose. You're not having to do a tri-stage. These are always going to be a tri-stage. You're always going to be putting a second coat of pearl and then clear coating that. You're always going to be going around the vehicle a second time or whatever it is you're painting. So remember, they're always going to be a tri-stage, and it's something that in the custom color line we kind of stayed away from. We did everything as base coats just to save money, save time. But this right here puts more control back into your custom line of work by giving you the ability to intensify the look of pearls or utilize them the way you want to, or create your own tri-stage whites or different things that you want to do. So I'm pretty sure that answers all the questions on this. It's not really a detailed tech on this one, not really needed. Is Liberty Blue a tri-stage? No, Liberty Blue is actually a base coat. It covers extremely well over black. 2 coats over black and you have complete coverage on Liberty Blue. It's a true base coat, and basically every custom color in the line is a true base coat. Other than the Stellar series, which is new, it's all tri-stage. Is it a tri-stage if you spray it over black primer? No. Trick question, maybe. If you're not, yeah, because you're always using primer, so yes. Basically, it's not a tri-stage. Technically, it would be a base coat. Anyways, guys, thanks for the support. Hope you guys are happy with all of the color options that we have here. We're going to continue to offer more over time. These were just, the first of the series that we were offering here. I may add a few other colors. I saw a couple today that I could do, and we'll see, how well this does. This has done well so far. I've been happy with the success of this. People have been picking them up. So I'm waiting to see more of it in use. I've actually had it in use for a while, just never had a name for it. So whenever people said, I want this, I want that, I was like, okay, well, we can do that. And we were just creating the colors for you, and we didn't really name it. So now this has a full-fledged name, and you guys can order it, and you can do whatever you want with them. So again, hope you guys appreciate, the offerings that we have, and we're happy to continue to bring you guys new and cool things and things like that. Have a good night. Any other questions, feel to ask in the group. And again, we appreciate the support. Have a good Thursday. See you guys next Thursday for whatever the live will be then. Remember, Kevin Kegler is going live on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and he's going to be doing lives telling you how to utilize Tamco candies, Tamco intensity, and Tamco custom colors through an airbrush at the proper ratio to be able to get them to spray the way that you want to. Make sure to pay attention to that live, because a lot of people have questions on a regular basis on how to utilize intensity the best way for them, how to utilize the actual custom colors and the candies through an airbrush. Make sure to watch that on Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He will go live on his personal page, and I will, or actually on his business page, and I will share that into the group for you guys to watch. Make sure to clear your calendars on Saturday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Have a good night, guys. We appreciate the support as always. See you next Thursday.